All right, this one's going to be a little bit different. Art for Inspiration, X Factor, by one of my biggest influences, Marc Silvestri. Contributed on both of these in different ways, so it's not 100% full on Marc, but still pretty cool. Nice couple nice relics here. All right, so here we go. These are both original copies I purchased years ago. What year is this? 87, 86, 86, and also 86. There we go. All right. Issue 8 and 9. This issue 9, Marc provided the pencils with Joseph Rubinstein on inks. Okay, so this is a Marc drawn cover, as well as the issue 8 cover. So on this one here, Marc only did the cover. Interiors, I think it's Shoemaker. Yeah. So Marc didn't contribute on the interiors of this. If he did, he's not name credited. So we're going to focus on 8. But awesome cover. Love this. Very uncanny X-Men-esque. All right, then issue 8, cover with, I think Rubinstein inked this cover as well. I don't see the autograph anywhere, but I'm pretty sure he did. And that blob is ridiculous. I love it. Marc did breakdowns, and for anyone not familiar with breakdowns in comics, that's when you start popping and locking. Yeah, so essentially these 11 by 17s, I'm assuming, is the size that they were working on for these as well. It would be an artist that comes in and on the original page, at this time in particular, especially because they didn't really have a whole lot of access to copy equipment, computers. Adobe Photoshop didn't exist. You would probably come in here with light pencil or even like a non-photo blue and actually do all the layouts and some rough pencils. And on your coattails is going to be an inker. And the inker is the one who's doing the finishes. Joe Rubinstein is credited here as the finish artist, okay? So, and it could be varying degrees of roughs, pencil roughs. I have a feeling that Marc probably fleshed out most of the faces and parts of anatomy, and the rest maybe just indicated bricks, and then maybe Rubinstein had to come in here and actually, you know, create all the correct dimensions and stuff. It was probably just loosely, but these here feel very Silvestri to me. The stance, the anatomy, the foreshortened leg with the knee hiked up. This is very much what Marc was doing at the time. And even today, he still does that. And it's awesome every time he does it. Yeah, so definitely, and as a rough artist, a rough pencil artist, you're basically controlling all the flow, all the aspects of the flow of the page still. Um, you're just not dialing it in, you're not doing all the finished artwork that you normally would do. And you could tell with some of these faces, um, the rendering is very not Marc. That face doesn't look like a Silvestri face to me. But things like this, yeah, yeah, I could totally see him drawing the Marauders or something in these running stances way back in the day. And then this is very much a Silvestri, like a Colossus corner panel. I could see that. Oh, Bonkers. Do you guys remember that? Just me. So yeah, and at the time too, some Marvel like 80s, I don't know, 85, 86, 87, 88. It was pretty common to find pages with, uh, between 7 and 12 panels per page. It was before the era of the splash and the double page splash. Man, really word heavy. But yes, you get to see a lot of just kind of Mark's approach. That's an awesome shot right here, like that little leg kicked up right there. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to look up some of these pages in black and white, see if any of them exist. It's really interesting right here too. This almost looks like a John Byrne panel right here. When you get the mix, you get a little bit of Mark, a little bit of Joe going on in there. Yeah, this is very much a Silvestri 80s panel right here. Uh, Off panel dialogue, obviously coming from the character in the foreground. And he used to do this a lot where if he was going panel transition, and this is comic science here. Let's get rid of this. Um, he'll utilize foreground and background, but generally middle ground would be a panel like this is middle ground, right? Mark was really good about not following a middle ground with a middle ground because this is more of a middle ground, even though it's pretty close to background, it isn't. And he would do that a lot, which is actually a really good habit to have if you're a comic artist. Don't follow a close up with a close up, you know. So you get background, foreground, followed by a mid. Okay, you get the middle ground right there, and you'll notice that with these shots. So if you ever see something like with a pull or a push, okay, so like middle ground, close up, right? He didn't throw these two next to each other, right? They tend to blend, and it's just cool. It's cool to see that uh, so blatantly. Yeah, these are cool layouts right here. These are fun. Yeah, I just want to do a little fun video. I pulled these out of the. I got a couple long boxes that are just beater copies of books. Most of them were books that I purchased and never took the time to bag or board when I was younger. I was like, oh yeah, Mark, I remember these. Pretty interesting stuff. So it'll be a short video here, less than 10 minutes. There we go. That's the end of it there. But yeah, see, yeah, if you do have these books, you can definitely see, you know, very Silvestri, you know, you got Beast, you know, perched up. Very Silvestri with all the layouts, even like the hands, you know, he'll do that away shot with all the hands, the way that they extend out, force perspective on fingers, stuff like that. And then seeing uh, an inker who's an artist in their own right, you know, with Rubenstein, who's inked a lot of legends through the years. Um, Definitely has their own style, and you get to see that work on top of a very knowledgeable Silvestri layout. So, man, yeah, it's really interesting. I love this panel. This panel is so awesome. There's something about just seeing the scale that he used to draw Blob to uh, all the other supporting characters, especially when he sets him up next to, oh God, what's his name? I already forgot his name. This dude. Pyro? Is that Pyro? All right. Anyways, yeah. Uh, short. My shortest, weirdest art for inspiration. Just shy of 10 minutes. End it now. Don't forget to subscribe.